Tonight, police rammed an officer in hospital and a man under arrest. We'll cross live. A daughter's disgust as a gas company keeps billing her murdered parents. Coles found guilty of misleading customers over freshly baked bread. Selling power, neighbours toast a multi-million-dollar property windfall. And Sam, Matisse and Tiernan Steins open Jim's Bridge.
This is 9 News with Peter Hitchener.
Good evening. First to breaking news, and a police officer is in hospital after he was deliberately rammed in Bayswater North this afternoon. A man drove at police when they came to investigate noise complaints, pushing one officer into a stationary vehicle. A divisional van was also rammed. The man refused to get out of the vehicle and was capsicum sprayed. We'll have more on this developing story later in the bulletin. The family of an elderly Yarraville couple murdered in their home has been fighting a gas company for continuing to bill their dead parents. AGL kept charging the Conadarises despite the fact their house burnt down. Laura Turner with the story.
Her elderly parents were shot dead and their home set alight in a double murder 18 months ago. The trauma for Kula Conadaris
time to bringing people together. Emily Rice, 9 News.
Now looking ahead to sport, Tony Jones.
Thanks, Pete. Good evening, and coming up later, what a week for the Western Bulldogs. Boyd is back now after a stint on the injured list.
Yeah, got through training well today and be back out there on Saturday.
Those unstoppable Swans, well and truly on the Buddy bandwagon.
It was a pretty special thing to watch. I mean, we've seen it in previous years, obviously for Hawthorn, so it was nice to be on the same team as it this time.
Now, how do you put a spin on this? Our test team enlists Murali and Love All. Did she say yes, or was it a backhander? All to be revealed later in Sport, Pete.
OK, thank you, Tony. And when we return, Jared Baden-Clay's excuse for scratches on his cheek. The first look at the regional rail link ahead of major train disruptions. And a lack of vitamin D linked to heart disease and cancer. Returning to breaking news in Bayswater North now, a police officer is in hospital after he was deliberately hit by a car. Live to Alexis Date at the scene. Lexi, what's the latest there?
Good evening, Pete. Well, this drama all unfolded after police were called to a home here on Bayswater Road following reports of erratic behaviour and criminal damage to cars at about
Qatar to decide whether to list the reef as being in danger. Livinia joins us now with a look at the weather. It wasn't too bad today, Livinia.
Pete, yes, still fairly mild. It was 14 degrees at lunchtime. There was a lot of cloud but no rain. We're nearly halfway through the year now, so here's a check of how much rain there's been. In the city, 247 millimetres. Normally by the end of June, there'd be 309, so we'd need to get 5 millimetres for each of the next 12 days to be on track. The Bureau's long-term forecast is for winter to be drier than usual in Victoria, and by spring, there's a 70% chance of El Nino developing, which is the warming of sea surface temperatures in the Pacific, and it usually means below average rain and higher than normal temperatures in southern Australia. I'll have our forecast later, Pete.
Right, thanks, Livinia. And in the news ahead, an inner suburbs congestion tax set to send parking costs soaring. Labor and the Greens to block changes to childcare payments. And no boys allowed, Melbourne's first all-girl Auskick clinic. A large gathering of mourners, including members of the Tamil community, have farewelled an asylum seeker at a funeral in Geelong. But missing from the service, his father, mother and brothers. Despite desperate pleas to attend, they were denied visas to travel from India. 29-year-old Leo Seaman Pillai took his life after 18 months of uncertainty over his fate in Australia. His distraught family is expected to watch a video of the funeral so they can say goodbye. Inner Melbourne businesses are set to be slugged almost $1,000 for a single parking spot by the state government. Furious retailers have told Dougal Beatty the new congestion levy will kill off trade.
Another tax, this time hitting Melbourne's inner suburbs, designed to increase the use of public transport by raising the cost of car parks.
Very expensive. It's gone up.
No, see, boys are in here. Yeah!
Tony Jones, 9 News.
Oh, he's here now. Tony's back with more sport.
Yeah, there's always one. Anyway, Pete, thanks for that. A win perhaps for Essendon in their battle with Asada. The Bulldogs again, bolstered by the return of an old hand. Now, there's a turn-up. Murali teams up with the Australians. And all that courting ends in a proposal for a tennis star.
This Sport Report brought to you by Officeworks, where everything could be tax deductible. Take a tax break by June 30.
Still brimming with confidence from their upset win over Collingwood, the good news continues for the Western Bulldogs. They'll regain veteran midfielder Matthew Boyd from injury when they tackle league leaders Port Adelaide on Sunday. Mark McGugan with the latest.
The Dogs are on a roll, but the toughest road trip in footy will take some extra grunt. That's where Matthew Boyd comes in.
It's been a bit of a frustrating couple of weeks. It probably turned from a 1 weeker into a 3 weeker, but yeah, got through training well today and be back out there on Saturday.
The former skipper.
After 15 seconds or so, Michaela said, yes. What a match. Bit of pressure on it, just the same, though.
Yes, it's a bit embarrassing if she'd said no in front of all those people. Thank you, Tony. And still to come tonight, Australia Post $2 million donation to an Islamic museum, a VC winner's generous gift to the Australian War Memorial, and the special children with a special bond with Melbourne. There's controversy over a windfall of more than $2 million for the Islamic Museum in Thornbury. It comes courtesy of Australia Post and its chief executive Ahmed Fahour. He was to be paid the money as a bonus, but reportedly asked that it be donated to the museum instead. The revelation comes a week after Australia Post confirmed it would sack 900 workers, the bulk of them in Melbourne. Mr Fahour is a patron of the museum, which has close links to other family members. The share market has slipped again, weighed down by the banks and energy stocks. Woodside Petroleum dropped after its biggest shareholder unloaded most of its holding. The All Ordinaries Index lost almost 17 points. Our dollars also eased against the greenback. A brave Australian, decorated for his courage under fire, continues to give back to his country. Warrant Officer Keith Payne today generously donated his Victoria Cross to the War Memorial in Canberra. Charles Croucher was there.
He arrives without fanfare, but few men have more honours than Keith Payne.
You've done a great job.
Surgery and are being cared for by the Children First Foundation. Judging by the big smiles, the youngsters enjoyed the vice-regal occasion. Lavinia's back now with the weather. What are we expecting, Livinia?
It'll be fine tomorrow, Pete, but we will get a few showers the following days as a front moves across from the west. It gave Perth its wettest day in 3 years, 51 millimetres. I'll have our forecast next.
This weather report brought to you by Beacon Lighting Stocktake Sale. With huge savings on lights, fans, globes and LEDs. Shop in-store or online today.
Good evening. Well, it seemed quite dark all day with this pretty constant cloud. It was actually our coldest day since last winter. We had a low of 12 overnight and our top was 14. That's still above average though, only just. Our average is 14.1. Today it reached 14.3 at 2:30. It only got to 10 degrees at Fernie, 8 degrees in the morning in the city and not getting any warmer than 13 in the afternoon. So we might struggle to get our vitamin D quota tomorrow, Pete.
I think you may be right. Thank you, Livinia. And Melbourne, that's what's news this Wednesday. Tracy's next with a current affair. Enjoy your evening and good night.